Hello and welcome back to my series where I go through all the different characters from Zombicide Fantasy. Today we are talking about Shen from Zombicide Eternal Empire and what his role is in the party. And of course his role is that of the caster. So most of his kits, as we go through them, would be focused about him casting spells or enchantment. And at level 1 he get one free magic action. So by spending one chi point he can make one extra magic action with a spell like Firebolt or Power Blast, but we will get to that. Meaning he is very versatile in getting extra magic attacks in. Meaning you probably would stack him up with magic instead of a melee weapon. Then his guard skill is 1 max plus max round. So the guards is these NPC that come in White Death and Eternal Empire. And normally they have a range attack put on 1, so they can hit here. But with his skill, they can actually manage to hit away from 2, meaning that you can place them much more aggressively and have them much more safe if you can deal with all the walkers that is running around the game. In level 3, he gets, by spending again 1 chi point, he can thus do chi action once per turn. You can get plus 1 damage to magic, and that actually makes you able to start dealing with some of the more powerful zombies like brutes, and I don't have an abomination at my hand, but abominations also, if you have a strong enough spell to supply you with the power to get to enough power spell, because normally if we look at this starting spells, it has a power of 1, it will deal 2 damage instead. Or you can choose Spellcaster, which is basically a free magic or enchantment action once per turn without spending chi. And it basically means that once per turn, instead of using one of his actions to cast an attack or using enchantment, he can do it for free. Then at level 4, you can choose between get 1 die to magic. So if we can look at this spell here, you can see normally it has only 1 die, so it would basically mean that instead of 1 you have 2. Or you can get plus 1 free enchantment action. This is basically enchantment is basically skills that don't do damage but does something like pushing away zombies, healing you, or anything that can be used once per turn. And he can get 1 free enchantment action, so he can use his free enchantment action to cast it if need be. Or he can get plus 1 free magic action, which is basically the same one as his level 1 ability, but this one doesn't cost chi, so he basically has a free magic attack every turn. So yeah, as you can see, he's very dependent on getting good magic spells, and you often want to stack him up with the most powerful magic spells your group find when you play with him. And yeah, and that even from the very start, you can see at his body slot he can hold 1 Power Blast. Now, Power Blast is actually a very interesting one. When you use another combat spell, like example Fireball here, this passive spell effect will go again, start up. So normally the spell itself is just 1 die, hits on a 4 and deal 1 damage. But if you have this and you use Fireball instead, you actually get, instead of 1, you get 2 dice, meaning you basically getting an easy time to hit with it. So, and having this on your body slot, meaning you can still dual wield spells, or you can have a spell in one hand and a melee weapon in the other hand if you really need to. So you don't really use up the secondary hand for anything but, well, powering up your spells. So I think this is one of the most important starting items, and definitely built directly for some casters specifically, so much that there's only 1 in the set. Its other thing is you can spend 1 chi point and get 3 dice instead of 1. So normally again you will have 1 die, but with by spending 1 chi you get up to have 3 dice instead. Which personally, it's like Power Blast is one of the more interesting spells because it's never really devalue in what it does. It's only getting stronger and stronger the more you get your builds together with different spells, or maybe even dual wielding spells. Now, this is his figurine. as you can see, it's basically standing here with this sword and everything out. Looks, let's get it to focus. You can see he is really made to be this supreme mage of all of them. And I personally think he's one of the more well-rounded Eternal Empire character. For specifically to do one thing and one thing only. And yeah, this is Shen. I don't think he's one of my favorite mages because he's such specialized into this point of chi, and I have already made a video about what I think about that. But I kinda like him for what he does, and that even his guard skills is like an interesting one. Like playing the more aggressive style with your guards instead of just hiding behind a wall or clumping them up one place is interesting. But it also give you this zone control. So, but I do think he's a good character. I don't think he is the best of all of them. But yeah, this was my review of Shen. I hope you enjoyed it and have a nice day. Bye.